I found out at 2 a.m. New Year's Day that my wife was having an affair. She kept going for another 8 months. M28 I had my first GF when I was 21, she was the first person I slept with too. I loved her, we got engaged and married and moved in together over a 6.5-year relationship. I started getting suspicious of her and one of her workmates who was extremely clingy towards her. There were many red flags, which I ignored as this woman was the love of my life and my wife, why would she do anything so bad? But the suspicions kept building as more and more red flags appeared. I confronted her about these things, like him and her messaging constantly. I saw many messages from him to her with rows of heart emojis, how she would always favor going places with him over me, even when I specifically asked if me and her could go together. She took him to a bird park that I love to go to. She had him over for one night when I was away and the bed sheets were in the washing machine when I got home. I had enough on New Year's when she was purposefully being distant from me, like I was a bad guy or I had done something wrong. I took her phone and found her messages with him, that night confessing to each other how much they loved each other. Obviously I felt destroyed, but fool me attempted to keep our relationship going. I found they had been s-ing each other a few weeks afterwards as well, and after a massive argument she promised to change. Fool me. They continued their thing until August where I found them out again. Before then there had been instances where she was purposefully distant to me, and lo and behold it was because she was doing things with him. Suspicion crept up again as she went to the gym 3-4 times a week, but only had one gym wear in the wash by the end of it, and she never was tired or did her fitness change. I demanded a divorce when I found out that she had named a star after him for his birthday, which was just a week or so before mine. As I had enough, she lied to friends and family about what had happened, stating that we were just getting distant and wanted different things. I retaliate with throwing everything on a FB post, including her confessions for the other guy, the naming the star purchase, photos of them out on trips which I had no clue of. I will admit, not my best moment, probably not fair either. After the divorce, I said I never wanted to hear or speak to her again. This was around 2 years ago from time of posting, and in that time she has messaged me twice, both times I have completely ignored. But I keep the evidence of what she did safe just in case she tries anything. Honestly, for my first real relationship it was a roller coaster. 4 months later, 4 days before Christmas, I lost my job and my house and moved back into my mother's. Few years later and am back on my feet, with a new job, looking for a new house, and got back into my karate, which I'm in a kata squad now and back in touch with lots of friends. Stuffer, I'm so much happier now. Redditor's reaction story 2 after. Redditor 1, why did she not just end the relationship if Ahe was gonna do all that shit? Redditor follow up, probably either for the attraction of the affair itself, the familiarity due to the length of the relationship, or possibly even financial reasons that were going on or could happen if there were a divorce. Redditor 2, lots of times women love to make a man hurt like this simply to feed their own ego, makes them feel good to know how much power they have over you. I'm older than most and I've seen a lot of acid in my life, and this is one thing I've saw resurface over and over among my friends. The worse the man feels, the level of depression that she causes is directly measured by her joy from causing such unimaginable heartbreak. Women are mean, cruel and heartless, usually. Redditor 3, Jesus. Why the duck would she do that? I 100% bet that she was making your relationship with that guy to be like a romance novel or some bullshit. Like, who the duck names a star after their AP? Jesus. What a BTCH. This ain't a ducking novel. Also, what were your friends and family's reactions to this? Another, did you read what she said in those 2 messages? I'm just wondering what they said if you did read them. Redditor 4, where is she now? I bet that dude was just getting some action on the side from her and wasn't really interested in a serious relationship with her. He knows that she'll do to him what she did to you. The workout cloths threw me off. Are you saying that she was washing the other sets at his place? The sheets in the dryer is crazy. She had him in your marital bed. Mine did that too. During the day when I was at work. Redditor follow up, nope, she went to the gym 3-4 times a week and only had 1 set of dirty gym clothing. 3 visits should mean 3 sets of dirty gym clothing, not 1. Unless she is wearing the same outfit 3 times, which some guys do, most don't. Story 2. Me and my GF both cheated on each other, broke up, and now she's my stepdaughter. Yeah, just by the title alone you know my story is kinda F+D up. I'm currently M22 and my ex is F22. We'd been going well for about 2 years back when we were both 17. I spent a good amount of time over at her house and got close to her mom, F37 at the time. Well, turns out we ended up getting a little too close and flirty, cause one day when I was around waiting for my GF, me and her mom ended up tumbling into bed and going to Pound Town. Best time of my life, though the guilt was real. Tried to keep it to a one-time thing, but I couldn't resist going back for more. This went on for a year without my GF finding out. Around that time I caught her cheating on me, and realized things weren't really working out between us. We ended up having a talk and mutually agreed to break up, though she was understandably mad when she found out who I was dating F+ing behind her back. 2 years later, me and the mom are married and have been pretty happy since then. And my ex is now my stepdaughter. Things between us are weird to say the least. Redditor's reactions. Story 3. After Redditor 1 and realized things weren't really working out between us. You don't say. That wedding must have been a hoot. Op answer: wedding was pretty subdued actually, didn't invite that many people and kept it fairly small. Nobody really made a fuss, though there was an undercurrent of uncomfortableness given the age gap and cheating behind our relationship. Still, one of the best days of my life. Honeymoon was a blast afterward too. Redditor 2, well, this is doomed to fail. Any woman who will cheat with her daughter's boyfriend will definitely cheat on you without even giving you a second thought. And you'll get tired of her getting older and cheat on her because you clearly have no morals either. Best of luck. This train wreck won't last long. So don't worry about the uncomfortable feeling with your ex. You won't be around that long. Redditor follow up: 100% agree. Op update us when things turn S-ite, cause they eventually will. Redditor 3, actually she did cheat, with you who was already in a relationship. She doesn't have an issue with cheating, not even when her daughter is involved. Nice try with a justification though. Redditor follow up: who cheated? The mom. I didn't see anything stating she was also in a relationship. It's all types of duck though, this woman mom is disturbed. Story 3, my story. New to Reddit and I stumbled with this subreddit. After reading your stories it brought back all the heartache and anger that I went through at the end of my marriage. So, I thought to write my story to give a glimmer of hope to you and to show you that everything turns out good at the end. I am 55 years old, my ex-wife is 50 years old. Married for 23 years, together for 25 years. So, a little background, I am from Alberta, Canada, farm boy, born and raised at my parents' dairy farm. I moved to Ontario to go university and got a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. After graduating I went back to Alberta and started working in the oil patch and automation of big oil processing facilities and oil and gas drilling. Made good money, bought a house in the city. A coworker introduced me to my ex-wife. She is an accountant working at a big retail company in the finance department. We clicked immediately and started dating, lived together for 2 years and married. During our time in Alberta we had 2 kids, boys 19 months apart from each other. Around year 5 of our marriage she got a promotion that required to move to the HQ office in Ontario. So, I resigned to my job and we moved to Ontario. Rented and kept my house, and bought a new house with my ex-wife there. Found a new job in automation of manufacturing facilities. She quickly rose through the ranks in the company she works for and now she is a high-level manager in this company. We both make very good money and have a very good lifestyle, frequent family vacations, new cars very often, and paid our house loan very fast, so basically no debt. We had a very social life, we knew a lot of people there, from our university days and from her childhood. In 2016, is where everything went to crap. I got laid off my job, got diagnosed with diabetes type 1 and got home early one day after running some errands to find out that my wife is having an affair with my best friend college roommate. I caught them in the act. He was in our friend circle, he is tall and handsome, divorced for cheating, you know the player type. She begged and said the usual stuff that they all say. That she loves me, that was a mistake, that we can solve this and our marriage is the most important thing to her, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to reconcile, couldn't think of myself being a prison guard following her everywhere and looking for ghosts around my relationship. I do know my value, so I kicked her out of the house and started divorce proceedings. Called the kids that were at university at that time and told them what their mother did. This put a lot of strain in their relationship, which she claimed that was unnecessary and petty from my part. Called my so-called friends to tell them what happened and most of them knew. One even told me that this affair has been going on for 3 years. I was oblivious, maybe because I was naive and trusted completely my then wife. After knowing this, I went no contact with my ex. Every communication came through my lawyer. I cut them all out of my life, never spoke to them again. I got depressed, had rage issues, did not sleep, did not eat during that time. Was the worst pain I ever been in my life. Never want to go through that again. I sometimes still have nightmares about it. One day I realized that I could not keep being sorry for myself and start looking how to keep my mind occupied. Started jogging and exercising, started cooking as a hobby, started to learn how to play guitar. Anything to keep my mind of remembering all the crap that I've been put through. Playing guitar was one of the things that helped me a lot, is very hard to master, takes a lot of practice and took a bunch of hours of the day that I would otherwise spend wallowing. One of the first songs I learned is The Sound of by Jan Arden. It is a song about recovery and I truly recommend it. Another thing that helped was buying a puppy dog, a Rottweiler, the breed that we used to have at the farm. My ex hates animals, so we didn't have one. Taking care of the puppy also allowed me to take things off my mind, and having it being dependent of me gave me a reason to keep going. During the divorce, we sold the house and split the equity, split the money in the savings account. RSP's retirement didn't need to be divided since we both had the same amount saved, and after the divorce I moved back to Alberta since I had a house here and started my consultant business, and I am doing very well, even in this recession. Sold my house and bought one in Canmore at the foot of the Rockies and have the woods as my backyard. I'm not very good at social media, never cared for it. I do not even have a Facebook profile, so not following my ex-wife was very easy, nor did I want to know what she was doing. In 2018, I went back to Ontario for my son's graduation and I met my ex there. She asked since I was there visiting if we could grab a cup of coffee someday and catch up. I just told her that in hell I would be in better company and then went to ignore her for the rest of the ceremony. Both of my sons moved here to Alberta and they live 40 minutes away from me. This had to be a shock to my ex, since Ontario is 4 hours away by plane and like 36 hours away by car, and that makes it very difficult for her to come and visit the kids. Not everything is great as it sounds. I haven't been able to be in a relationship again. I have trust issues and decided that it isn't fair to my partner, so I stopped dating altogether. I am alone, but I don't feel lonely. I am very happy with my life even if I don't have anybody to share it with. For all of you in this sub, my heart goes to you and what you're going through, but I can testify that it gets better, and even if you end up being alone like me, is way better than living with the cheater and the ghost of their infidelity. Update, contact the demon lord? Hello good people. I am writing to you this time to get some advice. Last Sunday I was helping my youngest son to transport a sofa he bought in IKEA to his home. I own a truck. During this he mentioned that his mom ex-wife wanted to speak to me. My sons know that they aren't allowed to give her my number and thus the relay of the message. I haven't spoke to her since my youngest graduation from college, and wasn't in my plans to ever speak to her again. Being fair, this raised my curiosity. Why now after all this time? Does she want to truly apologize? Or maybe she just wants to clear her conscience? So I have spent all this time since then mulling over the idea of calling her. Also playing outside all these nights for some reason can't get this song out of my head. So to summarize good people, what do you think I should do? Update, contact the demon lord? Thank you for all you guys for your advice. Your comments helped me to unstuck my head and pull it out of my hole. I did follow your recommendations and asked my youngest for my ex's email account, created a new Yahoo Mail account for this purpose and wrote her to find out what she wanted. She wrote me back an email. And after all the normal pleasantries, she wrote to tell that my ex-bestie died from a heart attack last month. So last night I wrote back the following to her. Dear Satan's spawn. I really do not have words that can describe this. Except Mazel Tov maybe? Right now am I unable to grieve for him because my heart is already grieving for the death of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. A person that I never met or had any influence in my life whatsoever. Please do not try to contact me ever again. Sincerely, betrayed spouse of 3 years. After that I set her email address as spam in my primary email just in case. Maybe I was too harsh? Too much of an a-hole? I did not desire any harm to them, but definitely I still resent them. Anyway, thanks to everyone that helped me through this. You guys rock.